All right, welcome. Have you ever stopped to think that maybe there's something more to the simple act of breathing? Well, today we're diving into the incredible teachings of Sri Anandamayi Ma. She had this amazing way of showing people how to tap into this deep source of peace just by using the breath you're taking right now.
So, let's kick things off with a question that, honestly, is at the heart of this whole thing. It's a classic dilemma for anyone on a spiritual path, right? Is it all about intense effort, gritting your teeth and pushing through? Or is it just about grace? Do you just wait for it to happen? And you know what? Her answer is just so beautiful because it's not one or the other. She doesn't pick a side at all. She's basically saying the spiritual journey isn't a simple, straight line. It's more like a dance between what we do, our effort, and this incredible grace that's totally beyond our control. Okay, so let's really dig into this relationship between effort and grace. How do these two things, which seem like total opposites, actually work together? Let's unpack that.
So check this out. What's so fascinating here is how Ma talks about our role in all this. She says, look, your job is to just keep trying, keep putting in the effort, because you have absolutely no idea when grace is going to show up. It could be like a sudden flood that just washes everything away. But then, and this is the real mind bender, she says that eventually you realize that the desire to even try, that little spark of will you have, that was grace too. The whole thing was grace from the start.
All right, so you might be thinking, okay, but why? Why is all this effort so important? Well, Anandamayi has this brilliant, super practical analogy that makes it all click. It's about building a spiritual pension.
She brings us back to a really basic truth, right? Life is completely unpredictable. We might be having a great day, a great year, even, but sorrow can just pop up out of nowhere. The thing is, we can't really control what happens out there, but we can prepare ourselves on the inside. And this is where the pension idea comes in, and it's just perfect. She's saying, I tell you, arrange for a pension. But she's not talking about money. She's talking about an inner resource. It's this fund of peace and strength that you build up with every bit of practice. It's a safety net that's there for you no matter what life throws at you. And the best part, it never, ever gets destroyed.
So how do you build this spiritual pension? Well, let's get into the core technique that Ma recommends. It's a practice called Nam Jap, which is basically chanting a name. But the key is connecting it directly to your breath.
And the method itself is so simple. Seriously, anyone can do it. You don't need anything special. You just become aware of your breathing. As you breathe in, you silently repeat a name or a mantra. As you breathe out, you repeat it again. That's it. It's this gentle, constant cycle that links something sacred to the very process that's keeping you alive.
But Ma was super practical. She knew people would run into issues, so she addresses a common one. What if you're doing this practice and your head starts feeling hot, like uncomfortably hot? It's a real thing, and she gives a clear reason why this happens, and, most importantly, what to do about it.
So here's the deal. She says the heat can be caused by a lack of what's called brahmacharya. Now that word can mean a lot of things. Purity, celibacy, but you can think of it as a kind of inner balance. But here's the important part. She doesn't say, oh, well, you can't do it then. No way. She offers an alternative. She says, don't force it. Instead, just sit quietly. Focus on the natural flow of your breath, and just kind of hold the name in your mind without tying it to the breath. You can still make progress this way. It's all about adapting.
Okay, this brings up another huge question, right? A question for pretty much all of us who aren't living in a cave somewhere. How in the world are you supposed to keep up a spiritual practice when you have a job, a family, a life? And Ma's advice on this is just game-changing. It's all about a massive shift in perspective. She says, run the household with the feeling, I am serving him in all these forms. So instead of seeing your family and your job as distractions, you see them as the practice itself. You reframe every single thing you do as an act of service to the divine that's present in everyone.
And she gets really practical with it. She says, look, view caring for your family as service. Eat just to keep your body going, not for indulgence. Sleep when you're tired. Try to be truthful. It's not about changing what you do, but how you do it. It's all about the intention behind the action. You're weaving this awareness right into the fabric of your everyday life.
Okay, let's take this to the final level now, because this simple practice of watching the breath, it leads to something absolutely profound. It goes way beyond just feeling calm. It actually touches on the very nature of reality. So Maharishi talks about this concept called pranavayu. And what it means is that the breath we think of as mine isn't really ours alone. It's actually just a tiny piece of this huge universal life force. It's the one energy, the one breath that flows through literally everything.
Just think about that for a second. That's a huge shift in how we see things. It means our breath isn't just happening inside our little bodies. We're all breathing from the exact same source. It's like we're all dipping into one single, massive ocean of life energy with every breath we take.
And this, right here, is the ultimate point of the whole practice. By this logic, everyone is inherently connected to everyone else. When you connect with your own breath, you're not just connecting with you. You're plugging directly into the source that animates, well, everything. Every person, every animal, every plant. That feeling of being separate and alone that we all get. From this point of view, it's just an illusion.
So this simple practice becomes so much more than just a way to calm down. It's a doorway. It's this constant opportunity, with every single breath you take, to connect to that one source and realize that we are all fundamentally connected. So, are you ready to connect to that source with your every breath?